Hello everyone, my name is Liam, and I'm the founder and creator of Magnesium, and I just finished releasing 4 solo albums in the span of 1 year. So this is going to be a 4-part episode breakdown of all the Magnesium stuff I did back in 2019 into this year, 2020. So we're going to start with Forging the Armory, which was the first album that I released. So the first song on the album is called Keys to the Gridlock, and this song actually has one of the longest guitar solos of any Magnesium song, and it's very fun to play live, and it was very fun to record. And the song basically means that your mind is the key to achieving the impossible, hence keys to the gridlock, because typically if you're in a gridlock situation on the road, there's really no way out of it. So I figured it would be cool to put a symbolic way of kind of making it seem like you can get out of those impossible situations. Keys to the Gridlock is also the most popular Magnesium song to this day. Burn Through the Night, this was actually a song that I woke up in the middle of the night and I had to get it down on paper because I was just like overflowing with creative energy in that moment. It was really funny. So actually the title of the song actually comes from that experience, Burn Through the Night, because I woke up in the middle of the night with the idea. So this is actually at one point the fan favorite off the album when the album first came out, and this song actually got me a little bit more noticed in Europe, which is very good because in Europe they make the best power metal. The song means people will try to stop you from pursuing something that you think is impossible, but like the song says, you have to stay true and don't look back, and that's really what the song is trying to inspire people with, is don't worry about what anyone else thinks. If you think something is possible, just go for it. The next song off the album is Carbon, and Carbon I think was the most fun song to record for me of any Magnesium song. The second verse keyboards are my favorite keyboards of any Magnesium song. It was very, very fun to record. And this song is one of the better songs in terms of vocals for me. I'm not a singer, but I chose to do the vocals for all my songs because I didn't know anyone else who could sing power metal, so that's why I did that. The song basically means don't back down from a war if you know you're fighting for the right thing. There's a lot of war references in this song, like aircraft carriers, tanks. That kind of takes inspiration from my favorite band of all time, Sabaton. So yeah, I did write a song about war as part of the Sabaton thing because they sing about military history, and because I wanted to make it a little bit more emotionally related to real life. War is obviously a very real thing, but spiritual warfare is something that a lot of people don't recognize as being real. So I decided to write a song about that. The next song off the album is Endless Arsenal. This was actually the first power metal song that I ever wrote. The meaning of the song is basically the world will try and throw everything it has at you, just in life in general, hence the world's endless arsenal, and you have to do whatever it takes to block all the world's weapons. The second verse lead guitar is some of my favorite lead guitar off the album, and that was really the moment where I realized I could actually write music. I remember I rushed over to my friend's room in college because I wrote the whole album I did in college, in music college. And I rushed over to his room like, dude, you gotta check this out, this is sick. It's kind of cool to kind of feel like, whoa, wait, I can actually write music. So this was actually the first song I ever wrote. The next song off the album is Dying Angels of the Sunset, and this was my first time collaborating. One of my college classmates, her name is Amber, she did the vocals for this song, and this is one of the only Magnesium ballads. The meaning of the song is, it's kind of unique. I had the idea, what if every time someone sinned, an angel like bled out in heaven, and that's why the sunsets turn red? I kind of had that weird thought, and then I was like, you know, I'm going to write a song about that because that's pretty unique. I actually wrote the lyrics to this song in front of a Memphis sunset. It was pretty glorious. I went to college in Memphis, so that's why I wrote that. It really helped kind of get the lyrics out in a meaningful way for me if I was actually in the location of what the song was talking about. So that's Dying Angels of the Sunset. Sharpen the Scythe is kind of the opposite of Dying Angels of the Sunset. It's not a ballad at all. It's one of the most aggressive Magnesium songs. It's the complete opposite of a ballad. The song basically, it's very personal for me. I've had kind of some instances where I would consider some things that were done to me kind of unforgivable, and that's actually what the original song was called, was Unforgivable, but I deem that kind of too dark for a power metal album. Power metal is supposed to be uplifting. The song basically means if someone harms you, don't let it destroy you. Use the harm that they bring to you to be able to get stronger. Kingdom Far Beyond is the next track, and this song was only meant as a fun song. There was no deeper meaning. It was just telling a story of an adventurer in kind of a medieval age that came across a kingdom and decided to join it. That's literally the only thing. I just wanted to throw this in there. It's kind of it's got a folky vibe to it. A lot of cool guitar scales and stuff in this one. Everyone seemed to like this song when the album came out that heard it. Yeah, very fun to play live especially. So the title track of this album is called Forging the Armory, of course, and this song is a 10-minute epic. I wanted to do a song that was 10 minutes long. That proved to be quite the challenge because I didn't want to make it sound repetitive, and it's very easy to do that with a long song, and so I tried to structure the form around a unique style, and it worked out in the end, and that became the title track. The song basically means forge yourself around truth and confidence, and that's actually the theme of the album. The armor in my mind is truth and confidence. Yeah, there's a lot of guitar stuff, a lot of lead guitar, a lot of guitar solos. Very fun to play, and 10 minutes goes by really fast when you're up on stage. Into the Forge is simply a show opener, and Liquid Gold is simply a show closer. I wanted to get the hype going with Into the Forge and kind of digress the hype with Liquid Gold, but also kind of making the crowd or the listener feel like, oh, I kind of want something more. Brave and the Bold is the first of the bonus tracks. It's basically actually about Batman. I wanted to do actually a whole album about superheroes before I released this album, but then thankfully I came to my senses and I was like, no one's gonna care about that. So I just decided to do 2 songs. I think more people should write songs about superheroes because it's great material that's out there. And if you're a fan like I am of all those kind of movies and comics and stuff, then why not write a song about it? So I did this one about Batman, and the clean guitar and the slow tempo really makes you feel like a depressing city. Like you're in a depressing city, like Gotham, for example. And so I really tried to use the instruments that I played for this one to really make you feel like you're in that location. More on this in part 2 of the Breakdown series with Planet of Creation. Batman is constantly having to forge his armory around the tragedy that happened to him when he was a kid because he was orphaned, and so that's how he ties into the theme of the album. I didn't want to just choose a random superhero to put into the album. I wanted to choose a superhero that actually related to the theme so it would stay consistent. The album is called Spectrum of Lanterns, and this song is actually more 80s metal than power metal, I'd say. There's a lot of keyboards, like descending scale stuff on keyboards that make it sound really 80s. This song is really about the whole lantern chorus, like yellow, green, violet, etc. The point I wanted to make with this song is that willpower is probably your strongest ally, and that's how you can forge your armory. You can just surround yourself with the right things, and if you do that, you'll be able to focus on what you want. So that's Spectrum of Lanterns. Very simple structure, very simple guitar on this song, very fun to play. A lot of people liked this song when the album came out. So now we're going to take a look at the Forging the Armory artwork. I actually do all the artwork myself, so let's take a look at the artwork. So a lot of the song meanings in this album are having to do with like the state of your heart. So I decided to tie that into like armor by putting a heart with like a steel case. So you might also notice that there's some car part kind of references in this artwork on the valves or the artery connection points of the heart or whatever. I don't know the name because I'm not a doctor. I put in some exhaust pipes, and I kind of did this for every one of my projects, almost everyone. Put in just random car parts to make it look cooler. It makes it look like there's some meaning and purpose behind those things. There's some smoke in the background, and the color of this album is orange. I chose orange and black and silver are kind of the magnesium colors. There's a little bit of red in there also. So that's what I chose for this one. Each of my projects kind of has their own color. So yeah, that's Forging the Armory. Thank you for tuning into part 1, and I'll see you next time in part 2 for Guardian, Dreadnought, and Planet of Creation.